What is your Nintendo Holy Grail item or experience? Is it playing an unreleased game? Is it having lunch with a legendary designer? Is it seeing something that no one else has seen? Well, we are talking all about our Holy Grail Nintendo moments and items today, and we want to hear what yours are in the comments below. What spawned this, Gabe? Someone paid $100,000 for a sealed copy of the original Super Mario Bros. For NES.
That is astronomical money. You and I are not going to do that, ever. I don't think... Look, Zach, I hope you go on to...
Don't say ever.
Hold on. I hope you go on to acquire riches beyond your wildest dreams. Same for me. I wish I do too.
Yeah.
But even if I do... I don't know if that $100,000 can go towards a game of any kind.
That's a lot for a cartridge. It's a lot. And granted, this was a group. It was sold to a group of collectors on February 6th for $100,105. It received a near mint rating of 9.4, so the box is almost perfect. It's one of the only sealed copies of Super Mario Bros. In existence. And they, said it's one of the most important games ever in this sealed capacity. The president of Wata Games, who rates collectible video games, said in terms of rarity, popularity, relevance to collectors, this game has it all. Mario is the most recognized fictional or non-fictional character in the world, more so than Mickey Mouse. That's debatable.
I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't know. Yeah.
But I mean, Mickey Mouse has a lot of parks. Mario's getting a park next year in Japan. Cannot wait for that, and then it'll spread across the globe. But Holy Grail Nintendo items, 100,000. That's money we don't have. But if you did have infinite money, if you could spend on anything Nintendo has done, an experience, where would you start?
I mean, wait, to be clear, if I had infinite money, then I'm just buying Nintendo, and I'm going to tell them to do what I want.
You beat the system.
Yeah, okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, exactly, right? Go make my Wario Waluigi RPG game that I've been dreaming of for years. Go make my Zelda Mario crossover, please.
All right, but if we're getting into things that are sort of in the realm of this cartridge, the very first thing I would want is, and I don't even know if this actually exists, Zach, but if there's a mock-up of a real Master Sword that they created just to fling it around, just to see, when
they lived out what Link's world would be like. They built it. Okay.
Yeah, when the transition to 3D Zelda happened, I'm sure they created one to get swinging stuff around just to make sure motions were natural and stuff like that.
Or do you want the one that Miyamoto brought out on the E3 stage?
No, 100,000.
You want the original?
I want whatever happened first.
Made out of paper mache. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I was trying to think what would I want, and I think something that I would absolutely love. And again, this doesn't exist really, but if there was a cartridge that housed all of Nintendo's catalog that you could pop in the Switch, so you get NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii, that is something that if I was Mr. Fancy Collector, how cool would that be to be able to hey, I'll buy your library for the Switch, the whole thing.
But this is only Nintendo's games, right? That doesn't include.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just their published first party games. But still, it'd be so sweet to just carry that around and like with your Master Sword, it's that exclusive feeling of nobody else has this. Is there anything else that one of a kind that you would want?
Okay, one of a kind is a little tricky, but I don't know how many of these exist, and I know they do. I've seen them, and they do go for quite a bit of money, just not $100,000. I want a sealed copy of each one of my favorite Zelda games, and I'm not saying these are the best Zelda games, just my favorite. Link to the Past, that one is the best one. That's unanimous. But then Ocarina and Majora's Mask, if I can have sealed perfect versions of all of them, I would put them each in a case and then just have them all right next to each other, above my sofa or something.
Better be a Triforce shaped case.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
Games,
Zach, a triangle
display.
Yes. Okay, can I?
Hey, get that shadow box.
Zach, can I have a small loan of $100,000 so I can make this happen?
Let me call up Sakurai. That's something I think would be super cool. Well, first let me tell you cartridges. I think NES boxes are super pretty. The fact that they're just so plain, right? They're so simple and just very usually vibrant. So I would want a trilogy of Felix the Cat, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and Super Mario Bros. 3. I love the yellow box art of Super Mario Bros. 3, and having those three sealed would be a ton of fun. But how about a day with Sakurai? Win a date with Sakurai where you can just pick his brain, and the first question I'd ask him would be what are the characters that almost made it and were prototypes but didn't make it?
That's a really awesome question. I don't know what I would ask him. Like, I would probably just ask him more about like life. You know,
Okay. Well, that's good. Like, I got to interview Miyamoto years back and asking him about life.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
said to
game
go
design.
fight people. Remember?
Yeah, he said somebody's got to get in like a little trouble to learn from it. Yeah, that was just such a moment. And I feel like Sakurai, like, I feel like he's the kind of guy that would like. The date was supposed to be, or the day was supposed to be like for 3 hours, and it'd be like 32 hours. You just have like no sleep, nonstop talking, because he's just such a wealth of information and experience and knowledge and secrets. Like, so many secrets have to be stored inside that man's brain.
Speaking of secrets, Zach, let me get the last Zelda one out of the way here. And yes, a lot of mine are Zelda related. Okay, do you remember that
A little bit of a fan.
Do you remember that
This man may be excited for the new Zelda.
Do you remember that like prototype that they showed? And it was like a very like realistic art style. It was a fight between Link and Ganon. And
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that was gonna happen, and then that's not what ended up coming. So if that like game exists in any way, and I understand that was a prototype, maybe it wasn't playable, sure.
Right.
But in my mind, let's say it was playable. I want that. Like, whatever they have for that, or give me all the assets. Give me like, if I can.
Oh,
like,
that's good. Okay, so then what I want is the Metroid Prime 4 that just got canceled. I want to know. I want to play whatever capacity that exists in. I want to play that. One, because Metroid on Switch, and two, I want to know, like, was it actually super bad? I was like, what if it was actually like cool? What if it was just like it broke the mold, but it was cool?
Oh man. That's probably like, hey, SwitchForce, how about we all pull together? And Nintendo would never ever do this, but let's say we could get Nintendo to say, yeah, we'll give you Metroid Prime 4 as the one that existed for 100,000. We'll all pull our money. You guys have to promise me that.
Hey, we just all put in like, take every subscriber and put in like, I don't know, like a quarter. We should be good.
No, even we don't even need all of them. Just like half of them, and give us like $1.
Okay, we'll be good. On that same train of thought, I'd love to play the Pikmin that's been almost done for 5 years now or whatever. Like Pikmin 4, I want to know what's going on with that. Oh, Gabe. Okay, this one's doable.
Okay.
I want a Smash Bros. Ultimate arcade cabinet.
I can build that for you. Give me 100,000.
That one doesn't need to take up all that money. Let's save some of that for the Master Sword and that Virtual Console cartridge. But a 4-player Smash Station with like a huge, awesome like display, like how they used to do in the arcades.
So
with,
perfect
like,
for
art
your
of all the
basement.
characters.
Because that's a big station if you have 4 different controls.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, that's what we're doing in your basement, man.
And I don't know that I want it to have like arcade sticks though. Like it can just have like GameCube controllers attached or something.
No, then what's the point?
Because I want just like the whole.
Then
like,
why
the
not
big
just put up?
screen,
Just go buy a TV, put it on. No, man. What's
You wanted them in arcades? Okay,
the point of an arcade cabinet is that it has sticks and buttons. It's like, if you're gonna play with a GameCube controller, what's the difference between standing up and playing on an arcade cabinet?
I like standing.
Then
Sitting's
stand and
boring.
play in front of your TV. You're crazy for this one.
That's Nintendo's next system, the stand and play. The Switch you could take wherever you want. The next system you can stand or sit. Man, oh man. Okay, you have any other Grails?
I don't think it's real anymore. This is a completely separate topic. But if the StarFox Grand Prix thing were to be real, like if there is a canceled retro like project that we just don't know about,
Yeah.
even though again I don't think it's StarFox Grand Prix, like that there's this big mix up about that game that maybe it doesn't even exist, and like that it never did. So I don't know if you've seen that conspiracy theory, but it's out there.
I'd love to pick up any sort of archive of like lost levels. So like things that were cut from Super Mario Galaxy, things that were cut from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, things that were, shrines cut from Breath of the Wild, like just like cutting room floor stuff. Because I feel like, yeah, they may not all be great, but there's probably some like really quirky ideas captured in those just game design hunks that would be really fun to experience and really fun to play. Like as we talk, like that's where I'm going with more of this, is like I want to play like unreleased stuff. It's not only like really cool, but then like how special would you feel that you're like, I played Metroid Prime 4 before retro took over.
See, but then you become, and this is not a good person. We do not advocate being like him. That Martin Scarelli guy, the guy that bought the Wu-Tang album that no one ever got to hear. He was involved in medicine. Like,
you're ruining my dreams.
Yeah, like then we become him really, because then we're the only ones with access to it, and nobody else gets to play it. We don't get to share it.
Okay, well then we upload it to SwitchForce so that they can play it. They can check it out,
or they can watch it.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's a decent compromise.
Yeah, because I just don't want to be the evil geniuses that have all this like super cool stuff. Oh man! All right, guys, the Patreon to acquire hundreds of thousands of dollars to make all of this.
No. Okay, Gabe. I know you mentioned one more. What's your final pick?
All right, Zach. Since the dawn of the Switch, there was a rumor that this little game called Mother 3 specifically, was coming to the Nintendo Switch. Since then, not a word has been said about it. And this is more of a really hardcore franchise, right? Like, not everybody... Like, if you ask the average Switch owner what Mother is, like, they're not going to know.
Yeah.
But there was that rumor that maybe it's not getting localized because it's, you know, too dark, and that there was a localization happening and that now it's not. And this brings me back to that little Martin Scarlett like situation where I want a localized version of Mother 3 where there's like only one in existence. It's like they finished it, but then they're like, nah, we can't put this out. Like it's too dark. The themes are too heavy. I would buy that, like a perfect like version of Mother 3 that there's only one of. That would be really cool.
My last one is getting to go and be the first guest at Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios. I'm so hyped for that.
Here, let's take this into the realm of realism for a bit. Let's say they did auction that off, right? Like, hey, you and a friend or two friends, like you and a group of people, 4 max, 2 minimum, get to be the very first people to go to the theme park. And you get there a day before everybody else. There's going to be no lines. You get to do whatever you want.
Just a day?
Just one day.
Can it be like a month?
No. 1 day. How much would you I mean, hold on. I guess that gets tricky. But what do you think is a realistic price that someone with money would pay for that?
Well, Disney has done stuff like that. Like when they opened Pixar Pier, which was a new part of California Adventure in Anaheim last year, I think they charged like $350 for sort of this VIP first day thing. So like... having like the full land to yourself or a very exclusive group of people, I think like a couple $100 is worth it just to be like, 1, be the first, 2, be able to like record it all and like make videos, and 3, have like the opportunity to ride those things over and over, because you know that the lines are going to be insane for a long time. It happens at Disney. I'm sure it'll happen at Universal. I'm sure it'll happen with Nintendo over in Japan. Like, it's going to be insane. So getting that like freedom and opportunity to just ride again and again, I think it's worth a couple $100. If you're talking like, hey, I get to go and like ride the Mario Kart ride with Miyamoto now, that's a different story.
Yeah. Okay.
That's worth a lot. But I think that would be so freaking fun. I'm so pumped for that park. So many cool things that sadly we'll never have any of them, but it's fun to dream. Let us know your dream Nintendo item or experience. What is your holy grail that if you had infinite oodles of money, you would want the most? Let us know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. It's a pretty fun conversation, and hopefully you guys get into it down there. For now, though, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from the Switch and from crazy collectors that pay $100,000 for Super Mario Bros. Do you think one day, like, you know how right now nostalgic stuff like NES is so valuable? Do you think there's a future where, like, I don't know, 80 years down the road or something, like a sealed Switch is like so impressive? Or no, you think like we're so beyond that because of mass production?
Yeah, no, I think we're beyond that because of mass production. Yeah, unfortunately.
I'd love to think that like my Joy-Con collection one day will be viewed as legendary.
Look at it like a Super Nintendo now. You can go get on eBay for like $30. Like,
yeah, very, very true. Well, anyhow, everybody, have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. Get creative. I'm super eager to read these. Until then, though, for myself and Gabe, thanks again. SwitchForce